Hello everyone, good evening. Today is 12th of August, time is 6:15 p.m. This is Naveen again from Traders Cafe, doing a review of price action using our unique method that we have discussed in the last video. Before we go there, I wanted to show our website, traderscafe.in. As I mentioned previously, we are a pro trading floor with a lot of offices spread across India. Primary HQ is in Electronic City, Bangalore. We have a few offices across India, primarily around Hyderabad, Pune, Vizag, Erode, a couple of branches in Surat. We're hoping to expand this, so definitely go and check this out. You will find more information about us here. So let's jump back to the charts and review the system we have discussed. Last time we have seen a unique method which consisted of two windows. We have an alternative version of the same that basically has a simplified system, you can say, where if you do not have multiple windows, you don't like this, you don't have pro subscription of Tradingview, is there a way for us to manage the same thing using only one indicator, one screen? And that is the idea behind this. The system is pretty simple and straightforward. What you see on my screen is again candle structure that has either bright green and a variations of red. The strength of the candle indicates the color what you're seeing. If it is bright green, the transactions in the strength is pretty high, and as the strength of the candle reduces, you will see the intensity of the color continues to decrease. For today, let's ignore the indicators that are on the right that are not relevant, but what I want to show is how can this system help you with making objective decisions for directional trading. So here the entries are defined by two parameters. One you have a slow line, one we have a fast moving average. The ideal entries are basically when you can catch a trend based on the color. This slow line, we call this slow line. Sorry, this is the fast line. When the first dots appear here, you see the first dot here, the ideal entry is around here. The slow line also indicates positive correlation. So the idea is to go long here. So the stop loss is simply below this line. Take an entry, you will have an exit somewhere here, or the trailing exit is when this turns to red. We do not recommend taking trades when there is a contradictory bias, meaning this is showing long, this is showing short. But once you have both of those in synchrony, that is where you initiate a different trade. At 11:50, you again have this turning into green. The first dot is appearing here. This is where you take an entry, and there are additions here until this. When this turns red, you exit. No short signals yet, and there is a short signal here. You can see the candle is red. The red dot, the first red dot is appeared. We ignore this because this is still above this. Once the crossover is done and there is a red signal, this is your entry at 12:48. You catch a trend until here. So that's a move of approximately 60 points. You can see again a crossover happening here. This is where core bias is changed to red to green, and the entries are printed here. So if you have a pro subscription for Tradingview, this is an additional oscillator that can confirm the bias as well. So when the first green is printed here, you'll also see a green here, and then you take an entry, you ride the trend along until this point here. Same signal around 14:04, the first entry, approximately 60 points. Around 6:15, which is very late in the day, there is a trend change that can be seen. The first signal is printed around 15:01, and the slow line is also on top of the fast line, so this is a valid entry. Here is the position with the stop loss above this line, and then the exit is approximately here when it turns into green. So typically you can catch 60-70 points in the system. Pretty simple and straightforward to use, as long as you follow the rules consistently, and it gives you a good insight into the first entry, and each dot can represent additions. So you can slowly build your position to your max number of lots, starting with probably 1/20th of your quantity. Increase it by 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, and 5x is when you get your 100% of the quantity. So this is another system that we wanted to showcase, but along with that, let's go with what our previous system has shown us today, wherein we have discussed the two layout view. One, the left side view tells us the position management, whereas the right side layout tells us with the entries and exits, right? So let's go to the beginning of the day. We typically put this in 1 minute chart, but you can also look at this at 2 minutes and 3 minutes. Time frame doesn't really matter. It depends on how you trade, on which time frame you trade, but as long as you synchronize both of them into the same time frame, it should give you pretty valid signals. Trying to find 12th August 9:15. This is where we opened flat, we came down. There were the first signal that we see is this squeeze, what we call as, meaning whenever there is a potential reversal, you either get a V on the top followed by these diamonds. So this basically tells us our upstrength, the strength on the upside is basically slowing down. It is not an entry signal. It is just a signal for us to gauge the strength. Our entries are basically based on this side of the chart. The first signal is printed here for the sell, but since the candles are in green, this is not a valid entry. The valid entry is here, 50,289, and you have a partial profit booking at 50,143. That's an approximate 200 points captured. So interestingly, there is a reversal signal around 10:1, and that is immediately followed by a buy signal. This is a valid buy because the candles are green. Although the strength is not there, the entry could be here with a stop loss down the swing point. There is an addition signal, there is an additional signal, there is a partial profit book, again an addition, and a full profit book. So if you think about this, it helps you manage the trade on the side of the trend. And whenever there is a possibility of reversals, it helps you exit those positions or partially book the profits. If you partially book the profits and keep your position long, you would have captured approximately 600 points today from the lows. Let's look at one more last reversal, how this was able to help us. Around 3 p.m. is when we got a reversal signal. The little shark icons are also a early reversal, what we call as. The way that these are printed on the system is the early reversals are shown as this sharks, followed by a V or a squeeze, the diamond dot that we're showing. So approximately around 1450 is when we got a good sell signal, followed by additions, and followed by one more addition, followed by one more addition. So this is where around 1504 you started to see some green prints. This is where we can exit the position. So overall, pretty good day if you followed the system. Little chop around towards the end and in between 12 to 2. That is where the slagglers or the non-directional players would have made money. But for the directional system, there were a few opportunities. Definitely the longs in the morning were really caught well. With the bias in mind, the shorts could have been difficult at the end, but the system did give us good valid prints at the end of the day. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe the channel. We'll be posting more content and more of these in the time to come. Thank you.